So what are you implying is that the majority of the clinics are in white neighborhoods?
Yeah.
Okay,
Majority of
so let
health
me.
clinics are in white neighborhoods, bro, because of redlining. You know what redlining was, right? You live in a neighborhood that was redlined. You literally live in a neighborhood that was redlined, bro. So you know what that does.
If I'm being real, I feel like this. This is my thing. I do understand about red. I understand red line and everything. I think that what we're living in now is. I'm sorry. I think what we're living in now is the fact that we live in a a construct basically in which was a product of redlining. So they're not going
Yeah.
to break down. So they're not going to break down a bunch of buildings to put a clinic right there. You know, but how does that stop somebody from getting the health care that they need? We all got Medicaid. I can see if you were to say it would have been discrimination within health care, but when it comes to actual clinics, that means nothing because you still have fucking Medi-Cal, Medicaid. You can go to any other clinic around you. That has nothing to do with that.
And many clinics do not take Medicaid.
That is
That's not cap. Many clinics don't take Medicaid, and you don't get Medicaid just because you sign up for it. I'm not gonna get Medicaid if I sign up for it.
why do you make too much?
Yeah, I make not
Okay, well
no.
then,
It's not
well
even about
good
me
for
making
you.
too. Hold on, wait. It's not even about me making too much. The fact is that I don't have a child. Well, not yet. I don't have a child yet, and I'm not disabled, so I'm not gonna get Medicaid.
Right. So that means you're able-bodied. You don't have a child, and you make enough money. Congratulations,
Money
bro.
is
You're
not
an
even
adult.
part of it. Money's not even part of it.
You're an
You
adult.
could
So now
be
you can.
you could be disabled, make a lot of money, and still get Medicaid. So it's not that's not even a part of it. I'm not under
That's not.
18. I don't have a child, and matter of fact, even if my child was born already, I probably still wouldn't get it. My child would get it, but I still wouldn't get it. So Medicaid is I mean, actually, wait. I'll be fair. In Georgia, the rules might be different. I live in Florida. In Florida, you have to be under 18, or actually under 25. You have to be under 25,
Mhm.
disabled, or have a child, or be a woman with a child. Other than that, you're not
And
gonna get Medicaid.
or you have to make below the poverty rate.
You have to
So my
make
thing is
below
this.
50,000 in Florida.
So my thing is this: you're doing really good for yourself. You should pay for your health care, just like everybody else that's rich. They should pay for the health care. You
My
saying
my
everybody,
my
even
job
if
gives
they're
me
rich?
healthcare. Yeah, my job gives me healthcare.
Okay,
What I'm saying is that
congratulations.
what I'm
There you
saying is
go.
that
So
what I'm saying is that we all should get healthcare. All of us.
I don't know. Oh, well, I agree. Actually, you know what? I agree that everybody should get free health care here. That's ridiculous about this country. We should have free health care. Um, at the same time, it's like, but that's not the case. So how are you making it more than the average? You're making above the poverty rate. You're a single man with no kids. You're not disabled, and that's a problem that you have to pay for your health care. It's cheap.
No, it's not. I no, my healthcare is actually not cheap. The healthcare for my job is pretty expensive. But what I'm saying is that it's not just about me. I care about everyone else around me as well.
Okay,
So
so that's my thing.
if you can't
If
get
anything, that's
healthcare,
equal.
huh?
If anything, it's equal, bro. Because look, think about this.
But
If
things are
you're
not.
poor, if you're impoverished, you can get Medicaid. You can get Medi-Cal. If you're impoverished. So you don't have to worry about those people. They're good. You're worrying about the people that make above the poverty line. They don't need help. They make above the poverty line. They should pay for their health care. Very
No,
simple. There's no problem there.
they should get it too. Everyone should get healthcare. Everyone.
And who's going to pay for that?
All of us, because we pay taxes. We're already paying into healthcare. We're just not getting it because all of us pay into Medicare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We pay for we.
Right.
So this is my
We
thing. You
all
don't
hold
have to
on.
worry
Wait.
about those
Let me
people
just
because it comes out of your paycheck. So you don't
right.
have to
Let
worry.
me
You're already helping them.
right. What I'm saying is that in when it comes to something like Medicaid, it depends on your state. Like again, even if you're even if you're poor in Florida, you still won't get Medicaid if you're not disabled or over 25. It doesn't matter
That's a
how much.
cap. It goes off of
No, that's
income. What are you
no,
talking
not
about?
in Florida. Not
Bro,
in
yes, it
Florida.
does. It's a low income program. What are you talking about?
For what,
You pay for
Medicaid?
that.
Bro,
Yeah,
I used to sign
yes,
people
it
up.
is.
I used to work for the Department of Children and Families in Florida, bro.
And I was a doctor. So what? How can I prove that? You can just say that to prove your conversation, prove your point. The thing
No,
is,
I'm actually not lying. I used to work for the Department of Children and Families in Florida. I used to work for them. All right, like yeah, it's
So
a
it's an
it's
income. My whole family was on fucking Medi-Cal because we were impoverished, bro. What are you
that's
talking about?
Georgia. In
It's a
Florida,
government program.
in
What are you talking
Florida,
about?
if you are not disabled or under 25, they don't
Okay,
care.
is Medicaid income based?
Depends on your state, bro.
Yes. Here we go. Yes. In
Okay,
which state?
I told you it depends on your state.
No, like so I'm looking it up. In which state?
I live in Florida.
In which US state? All states. Income based in all US states. You see that? So stop capping. I
Okay,
don't know what fraudulent behavior they had you up to. Cap. It's in all states. It's income based in all 50 states here in America.
give me a second.
So you just cap right there.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second.
It must have had you running a pyramid scheme or something.
Give me a second.
So when you're wrong, I'm gonna need you to acknowledge when you're wrong.
Damn, doesn't actually give you the thing. Okay, I'm gonna go on what you said. Yeah. Okay. So income base. Sure. I'll say that is income base. I'll concede that you're right about that. It's income base. But what I'm telling you is that in Florida, just being like, for example, I knew people who were straight up homeless that were still denied Medicaid, bro. In Florida.
I don't know what it is. Probably couldn't have been a citizen, but it's income based, bro.
No,
Food
he's
stamps is income based.
they were yeah. Food stamps is income based. It is.
Yeah, yeah. A lot, all of our government assistance program are income based. That's why it's government assistance. They assist you because you can't afford it
Right. That
yourself.
doesn't mean that you're going to get it. If you don't have kids, you're
Jesus
gonna
Christ.
and for Medicaid, a lot of times if you don't have kids, you won't get it.
This is crazy, bro.
I
This
know.
is hella crazy. No, I'm saying because you can't. How are you denying the fact that all these government assistant programs, you're alleging that they're not income based. There
I'm
is
not saying
literally
I
to
already
assist
conceded
you.
to you that they are income based.
Right.
I
So
said that
how
already.
is meant right? So there you have it.
That
You
doesn't mean
make
that you're
enough.
going to get it.
Yes, it does.
No,
If you
no, it
don't make
doesn't. And not
enough
only
and
that,
you're a citizen here, yes, you will. They
and
give
not
it
only
illegal immigrants.
like you won't just get Medicaid just because you're a poor person. It's not the way that works. But the thing I was gonna say is that that doesn't matter. We all should get health care. I don't care how rich you are.
Right, but we don't. So
Right,
what now?
and that should change. Why are you against me wanting to change that? I don't understand.
I'm saying this is my thing.
Everyone should get Medicare. Everyone should get universal health care, including Elon Musk, including you. Everyone should get it.
Okay, so this is my thing. I agree that we should get healthcare. I believe we should all have a universal healthcare. Cool. But if I'm being honest, that's not the problem right now. We have other things that we're battling. We don't even have the freaking funds
Right.
to fund
I understand
universal
that.
health care
But the
because we're in
thing
debt
the thing
and we
that
have the Democratic Party
I got
laundering
you.
money. So
Laundering money where? Where are laundering money to? Launder money where? Where do launder money to?
where do we start? Okay, let me look up. Let me get this long list.
Don't
They
don't
have
don't don't give me conspiracy theories, bro. Give me an actual
no. You
actual
just,
investigations.
oh, I will. Like, have you not been paying attention to your country and how Doge is investigating our government spending? Have you not been watching that, or do you hate them that much?
Those are a bunch of fucking morons, bro. Give me
Oh
one
my God.
example.
See,
I bet
yeah,
you I'll do.
so, no,
So
so
hold
he
on,
hates
you
them that
actually
much.
hold on. You actually believe. Hold on, because Doge actually said that they were giving Social Security to people who are over 150. You believe that shit?
Yes.
That
You mean
you
you know
realize
how I
that was?
believe that?
Do you know what COBOL
No,
is?
no,
Do you know what
no.
COBOL
Look,
is?
look.
Do
You want me to tell
you
you how I
know
know?
what COBOL
Wait,
is?
wait. Let me. You asked me
Hold
a
on.
question, so I'm gonna
Let me.
answer it. You
Do
can't
you
ask me two
know
questions.
what COBOL
Can I
is?
answer the first
Hold
question,
on. You said
please?
yes already. You said yes already.
No.
You
Right, but
said
let me
yes. Hold
explain
on. Wait.
why.
No, no, no.
Okay,
You said
see, this
yes.
is this is not a
You
real
said
debate. He wants to build an
you
argument. Go
already
ahead.
said yes that you believe that
Cobalt.
they
What is
were
cobalt?
COBOL is
Come
a
on, let's go over it.
COBOL is a
Mhm.
code. COBOL is a code as an old code that the Social Security system runs under. They're not
Okay.
what it does is it defaults to 1875. They are not
Okay.
paying people 100 who are 150 years old actual Social Security checks. That is not true.
All
Elon
right.
Musk is
So
just
let
an
me tell
idiot.
you. Okay, so let me speak some facts here, and this may be anecdotal, but I can speak some actual facts here.
Someone you know
So
stole Social Security.
okay,
I get it.
no, no, no,
There's
no,
Social
no, no.
Security fraud. I
Okay,
do
let me
understand that.
finish because I
Go
listened to
ahead.
you yap, so it's my turn, I believe.
All right, you
So what I'm
actually
saying
almost
is,
done. You're actually almost done. But go ahead.
okay, that's cool, that's fine. So what I'm saying is basically I had this friend here. Actually, I had three friends here in L.A. because I'm in L.A. right now. So I had these three friends here. They're all Guatemalans, and they came here. Well, two were Guatemalans, one was Salvadorian. So they got caught coming over here illegally, and the government basically gave them Social Security. They were using other people's Social Security numbers, right? So the government found out they're using other people's Social Security numbers and advised them to keep using these numbers and keep it on the low, basically. So in that sense, they in that same breath, those same people could be using an unalived person's Social Security number and just running it to the ground, basically. Is
Bro,
what I'm saying.
we
There's a
know that Social
possibility,
Security fraud happens. That's not the point. My
right? So
point was
what?
that hold on,
So
let me
how is
finish.
that?
I
So how is that impossible?
already answered you. Listen, we understand that Social Security fraud can happen. That's not my point. My point was that Doge did not find people who are 150 years old getting paid Social Security. That was fake, bro. That didn't happen.
Okay, I feel like a lot of gaslight is happening right now, but
Can you read that?
yeah. So it says it can depend on your income level, your age, your family size, if you're pregnant or disabled.
Yeah,
So
your
what's
child may
what's
be
the
eligible
point?
for Medicaid even if you are not.
Right. So that means that if you make above the poverty line, your child can be eligible for it, but you don't have to be because your child makes no money and you do. So what?
Right. So that means that this all depends on your
So
state.
it's income based. So
Some people are just contrarians, you know? That's just what it is. They
the
just
thing
have
is,
to they just have to be right. It doesn't matter if they have the evidence right in front of their faces. Yes, income is one of the requirements, but it's not the sole requirement. You could
love
be
is government assistance.
you could be one person and you can make $2 over the threshold and they would
You won't
disqualify
qualify you
you
for
for
Medicaid.
$2. $2.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not
exactly. You make over the poverty line. So what?
right. So it's not solely income based. There are people who are poor
That
that do
that's
not
literally
qualify.
income based, bro.
They do. There are people who are poor that don't qualify for Medicaid.
Bro, this is ridiculous, bro. It's literally government assistance. It's for
I
to
understand it's
assist you
government
when you
assistance. That
don't
doesn't mean that
don't
everyone
make.
gets it.
Okay, I think y'all are willfully ignorant just to be correct, just to be right in y'all's own mind. But cool, if y'all want to live in the victim mentality, I'm cool with that. All that we
Do we
was
live?
kings,
Hold
we
on,
was
Justin.
queens, we was healthy.
Justin,
Y'all
last
go deal with
question.
that.
Last question,
We
Justin.
are
Last
the
question,
highest.
Justin. Last question, Justin. All right. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I was done with that.
Yeah. I
No,
appreciate you,
no,
Jonesy.
yeah. I can't with the coonery today. Just I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah.
No. Anyway,
Uh,
I'll be in the comments.
no problem. All right, Ryan, you there?
All right.
Yeah, good evening.
How's it going? Are you over
No,
18 and do you disagree with something I have on the board?
yeah, I disagree with probably, I don't know, a few of them. We can run down the list though.
All right,
We
cool.
start at number one.
Yeah, let's start at number one. What do you disagree with?
Well, okay, so America was never great. To begin, I want to clarify a couple things so I know where you're coming from. Is there another country that you think is or has been great?
I'm not sure. I haven't lived in another country.
Okay, so you're just speaking from like lived experience when you say America was never great.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I mean, is there another country that you would rather move to?
Uh, if I think about it, probably Ghana.
Ghana. Okay. I'm not as familiar with Ghana. I just know that there's a lot of conflict on the continent, so I can't really speak too much on it. But I think the idea that anybody from any place can come here and have a shot is better than you get in most other countries. People always like to talk about like Nordic or Scandinavian countries, and those countries are 90+% white Euro nationals. They don't allow immigration like we do, and we have a diverse country of people who come here and
Yeah,
can
so
shoot the shot of the quote unquote American dream,
yeah,
and
so
you just can't do that really anywhere else.
so
It
you
separates
can't.
it. It
You
separates,
actually can do that on other places.
okay, like
Canada.
you know what Canada's immigration policies are.
They're similar to America's. As a matter of fact, they're trying to change them because a lot of immigrants are coming to Canada and taking the Canadian jobs. They have the same type of idiotic anti-immigration movement up there that we have down here because they're thinking that
Well,
they're too loose with their immigration system. So you can do the same thing in Canada.
yeah, they take asylum seekers, etc., and they have the same problems as a result of mass immigration.
They don't have any issues. It's just people being stupid.
Well, I don't think that that's a fair assessment. I mean, just
No,
because
it's
somebody
fair.
has a different.
People are being stupid. They don't have any immigration issues.
Well, I mean, if I could finish my thought, that'd be wonderful.
All right, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I don't think that it's fair to say that someone's beliefs other than yours are stupid without any kind of basis there. You have whenever you have people who are less affected by immigration, like, and you said you were in Miami,
Yep.
so you probably have more of an idea than most people about immigration and how it can affect the economy.
My
Or
entire family are immigrants, and the economy got better when Florida took more immigrants.
all right, was your family did they cross the port of entry legally? If you don't mind me asking, I don't know if that's too much. I don't want to get delved too far here.
My parents sought asylum because of what was going on in Haiti at the time.
Okay, all right. So I mean, your parents probably, I don't know, man. I only know a couple of Haitian people, but typically people who come from Africa here with asylum seeking or through the legal port of entry, they tend to work exceptionally hard because typically where they came from, they were working exceptionally hard anyway, and you are able to reap a lot more benefits in this country than you are in other places. Is that a fair assessment? Your parents probably worked pretty hard.
Yeah, they did. My father started off as a dishwasher, then became a taxi driver, then went to medical school in Mexico, came back and was a respiratory therapist. My mother has been a registered nurse for the past 30 years, and I work in insurance.
Awesome. And it's funny, man, I'm not trying to make broad generalizations, man, but like a good friend of mine, her parents are from man, it's not Nigeria, Ethiopia.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because her dad's a respiratory therapist. I don't know idea what her mom does, but her dad's a respiratory therapist. And like they sing the songs and praises of the country, and she's more of she has viewpoints similar to yours that are more, I don't want to say anti-American because I don't believe that I don't know you well enough to say that you're anti-American, but she's very much trying to affect the change that she wants to see done. And I'm not saying that it's shut up and be grateful, but to not recognize the country for what it is, because it is a beautiful place where your parents were able to come. And if they had remained in Haiti, I don't know what would have happened. I don't know what was happening at the time. I'm not as educated in geopolitics, but it sounds like your parents had a hell of an opportunity here, and by extension, you.
They did.
And that's why I think America's great, man. I'm not saying it doesn't need work, but compared to most other places in the world, this is a pretty dadgum good place to live.
It's a first world country, so it's always going to be a better place to live than a country where there's massive suffering. Of course there is, but that doesn't make it great because its history and its character has always shown America to not do the right thing. We can be great. We've shown flashes of greatness. We can reach there, but every single time that we try to, we don't.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of hard to refute your point whenever I don't know exactly what you are referring to when you say America was never great. Because in my mind, I look at it, and we obviously come from very different places and very different backgrounds. So when I look at it, as a guy who grew up in a single wide trailer, and I'm able to do the things that I've been able to do, and I mean, I've made leaps and bounds in my life. So I just have a sense of gratitude for being able to have that economic mobility to move from one class to another.
When I talk about
So
greatness, what I mean is the character of the country if it lives up to its ideals. The American ideal is life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness and equal opportunity for everyone. We've never had that. And a matter of fact, for most of this country's history, we deliberately worked against it. So that's not greatness.
I like that. That's a great. I understand what you're referencing now, so we can definitely go from there. I would say that post World War II, in that first 20 years following World War II, I would say America was definitely living up to its ideals in terms of, and maybe not the ideals, but we were the world power in standing up against, at that time, genocide and fascism and not necessarily communism, but so what I'm looking for here, but dictatorship, things of that nature. You had things like the Red Scare, but we really enforced that, hey, people in countries are going to have, I don't know if that's one of the flashes of greatness is that you're referencing, because there were other things happening in America at that time, because we're previous to the civil rights movement at that point in time.
Actually, the interventions that America did all over the world are one of the reasons why I'd say it's not, because they caused mass suffering. We actually instilled dictators in South America, right-wing dictators, which is why a lot of South American countries, whenever they institute a new government, it's usually anti-American and skews to the left, because America has a history of intervening in those countries and installing right-wing dictators, which is one of the things that makes it not great. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons why I say America is not great is exactly the reason my parents came here, because in the 1920s, America invaded Haiti and caused mass destruction. And because of that, that caused the power vacuums, which caused a dictator to rise to power, which is exactly the reason my parents came here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of the interventions, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm just speaking to specifically that 20-year period, 1944 to 1964. I think
that was terrible.
I know that, and definitely prior to, and there's been a lot of CIA files leaked after the fact. Those invasions and incursions and coups and et cetera, funded by the deep state, are definitely horrific. But the country, at least living in it, and on the analogy that I draw, that we kind of live in the capital here, and if we were in the Hunger Games.
I mean, yeah, we're not in the Hunger Games. I wouldn't say that, but yeah.
But we would be the society that's basically unaffected by the world's problems, and we even profit from it. And our families, you said you didn't have any kids yet, but I know that my kids are able to sleep peacefully without having them waking up to gunfire because someone else's kids do.
Appreciate the gifts, y'all. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, but do you see how that's horrible? Where our kids are sleeping peacefully because we're bombing kids across the border? Not across this border, but
but yeah, no. I understand what you're saying. No, I mean, it's one of the uncomfortable truths, I guess. It's like I don't know how you affect change in such a way that you can make it better. You know what I mean? And what do I call you, man? I don't know if that's your name up there, and even if it was, I wouldn't know if it was Volsey or Volchi or.
Sorry, give me a second, y'all.
You're good.
Yeah, TikTok tends to do this for some reason. All right, yeah. It's my name is Volsey.
Volsey, okay, got you. You still need a second, or are you good?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I was just looking at the clock.
Okay, so we your assumption is that America hasn't embodied all of the ideals, but I don't think anybody shoots 100, or anybody bats 1,000, as they say.
Right. I mean, I agree with that. There's going to be failure somewhere. No one ever bats 1,000. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. I don't expect things to be perfect, but I expect us to actually do something about it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I expect us to not deliberately work against what our ideals are just because the person's skin color is different.
Right. I mean, and that's pretty egregious offense. I don't think there's anybody that's going to try to deny that slavery was horrendous and post-slavery era was horrendous and Jim Crow laws were horrendous and the redlining that occurred was you know what I mean? I don't think anybody's going to argue that any of those things weren't horrible. But I think in the last 60 years, there's a lot of work that's been done and there's also even post civil rights. Yeah, there's been systemic roadblocks placed for the Black community. I do, man. At the risk of being really, really unpopular, I don't want to move. Let's just jump to reparations before we go delve too far into this. I vehemently disagree with the proposition of reparations. Why do you think that we should have? Why do you think there should be reparations, and what would they look like?
Reparations should happen not just because of slavery, but because of the effects of slavery. And we've seen that the government, what I believe is that, excuse me, if the government causes damage to a certain area or certain people, they should be responsible for repairing that damage, and they never did so for the Black community. Also, so reparations will just kind of just be the right thing to do, but also it would actually be better for the country and the economy, because the country, America spends, I think, 15 or 20% of its budget just servicing poverty. And the group of people who are in more concentrated poverty, besides Native Americans, are African Americans. So alleviating poverty for that group would also alleviate poverty overall. And reparations would not just be compensation, but also the repair of systems like the criminal justice system, the education system, real estate, employment, things that negatively affect African Americans. And if you fix all those things, it's actually better for the country, because the criminal justice system, even though it targets African Americans mostly, it also affects poor people of all races, especially poor whites. So fixing that would also benefit them.
You get absolutely no argument from me there. But on that last point, anyway. So, what would reparations look like? I guess specifically in your dream world here.
Probably be compensation for the effects of redlining and Jim Crow and the war on drugs and things like that. I'm not sure how much. I know the Japanese got $20,000 each family. That would be fine.
That was 60 years ago, wasn't it?
That would happen in the 80s.
Yeah, so 40 years ago. Okay.
Yeah, so when it comes to African Americans, I think we should do with something about redlining. Redlining affected not only just home ownership, but it also affected the education system, groceries, clinics, health clinics, things like that. Their health, pollution, things like that. So, like environmental racism is an actual thing where companies will pollute areas that have more Black people because they know the government's not going to do anything about it. So we should fix that, like make sure cleaning up these areas, make sure they're not polluted, work in a system of African Americans going to renting their homes to actually owning the homes that they rent. Compensation will probably look like $20,000 to $30,000 each family until their wealth is built up that's comparable to white families for the time that they were not able to build that wealth. Who knows, maybe 40, maybe 50 years over that time. I would also like to see repair of the education system. For example, the school systems in redline areas are underfunded. So not only should it get equal funding as they do in the white areas, but I'll also add trade schools to those schools as well, like plumbing, electrician, those type of courses. So when students graduate, they can graduate with a job in their hands and not have to go to college if they don't want to. Of course, there are going to be students who still go to college, but there are going to be students Black students will be able to actually get into the workforce like earlier and be able to build themselves up and have upward mobility. And this is something that I think should happen to all high schools, as a matter of fact, not just the ones in redline areas, but specifically target the ones in redline areas for some of these programs. It'll be stuff like that.
I love that, mostly. I do want to address a couple of things. The reason why those schools are underfunded is because approximately 80% of funding for public schools comes from property taxes collected in the area. And as we just touched on, redlining, it's kind of screwed those cities or those areas because the properties are worth nothing and everybody rents them. And yeah.
Right.
Some of the work that I do, man, when I was in the IBEW, we would go to schools and everybody wanted to go to, I live in Kansas City, so we're surrounded by a bunch of smaller neighborhoods. And we want to go to the little country schools and try to get those kids interested in the union. And I'm like, our hall is 4 blocks from Central High School. Why aren't we going there? Like, legitimately. And nobody had to go to Reparations is Land. I like that one. They're actually doing that in South Africa right now. Is that it for me?
Yeah, we did. We did hit 15 minutes, but I think you had one last thing to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I definitely agree with you in the sense that there needs to be more work done. I don't necessarily agree with monetary compensation directly, but definitely work to be done with those schools, work to be done with those kids. People need to reach out to those young men and women and get them interested and teach them that there's more ways than just going and getting into a bunch of debt going to school. And that's all I got, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you being up. All right, that was a polite person. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all being up here. I know I achieved my gift goal a long time ago. Go ahead and keep liking the live and sharing. We got 7.3K likes, 55 people in here. I know not all of you agree with me. Gitmo, you've been crashing out in the comments for the past like 30 minutes now. Go ahead and come on up and discuss with me if you would like to discuss. Just give me a second for me to bring in a new goal. Give me 1 second, all right, John? Give me one moment.
Sure.
All right, y'all. New goal up. Give me 1 second. Oh, never mind. All right, y'all. I got a new gift goal up. Go ahead and crush that goal. John, how's it going? Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, John. Caddy and who else was in the Caddy and Cynthia? I do see y'all in the request. I'm gonna bring everybody up when I run out of guests, and we're gonna go ahead and talk. I do see one person in my my YouTube guest box. Give me 1 second to talk to Moses, and I'll get to you. All right, John, how's it going?
Man, I'm doing well. Thanks for calling me in. Certainly appreciate you.
Not a problem. Are you over 18, and do you disagree with something I have on the board?
Yeah, I mean, certainly I'm over 18. You've been making some salient points, Volsi, and I certainly want to thank you for the show. Um, but I just wanted to give my own 2 cents. I know we all love this great country that we're all in. Um, kind of want to digress a little bit from what you have up. Not totally going against what you've been saying, but just looking at things from a spiritual standpoint. Of course, what we're all experiencing in America at this point is evidently recorded in scriptures. I mean, again, for folks who don't believe the word or believe what, you know, I mean, believe what scripture says, there's no bone of contention here. But these are things that are recorded. I mean, it's fitting to say that if we can grasp the fundamental fact of what God Almighty is saying, then we will come to a comprehension that these things, deity on the throne, all of what is going around the world, these are all the bad pains of what the reality is. And I think what we just got to come to agreement with is that we got to be better for ourselves. We can't change what is going on. We can't change people. We can't change DT, of course, and we can't change the system, but we can change our responses. And if we're honest, we walk on the straight path, I think we'll do ourselves justice. And I just want to thank you again for getting me involved just to share this 2 pence. But I believe it's tough, man, looking at everything that is going on. I used to work for the bank some 10 years ago. And when you look at policies and regulation within financial institutions, man, it's horrific. I mean, based on what's going on now. But I think the most important thing is we all got to come to the realization that we need God. There's some who believes, there's some who doesn't believe, but ultimately you can't live this life on your own. And our decision and our wisdom is not enough to take us through this journey, take us through this path. We need God, and we need God so desperately. Thanks, man.
All right, not a problem. Appreciate you, Moses. Now, I'm one person that does not believe in a God, but I have no problem with hopeful messages, and we kind of need hopeful messages right now. All right, we're out of guests for the moment. I do appreciate you guys. 8.1K likes. We got 40 people in here. Let me just go ahead and talk to the YouTube real quick. All right, public debates. I do see you over on my YouTube. I was just typing out my response. There's a link that's pinned. What you got to do is because if you're on your phone, you got to take a picture of it, and then you got to click on that link, and that's how you can get over to my video ninja and request to come up. All right. Um, Once I see you in the video ninja, I'll go ahead and bring you up. I think I saw another TikTok guest. Oh, Cynthia and GP. All right, Cynthia, I'm bringing you up, and GP, I'll bring you up as well. Hey, Cynthia, I appreciate you being patient. It's just because I wanted to get all the opposition out the way and then bring up people who are friendlies. How's it going, Cynthia?
What I say?
Nabule Nula. How's it going?
Hey, I'm good. I'm from Florida too.
From Florida as well. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Hey, GP, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
All right. Are you opposition or a friendly of mine?
I talked to you before about like the religious thing.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's where I remember you from. All right, not a problem. All right, so yeah, Cynthia, how's it going? You doing well tonight?
I'm doing good. Nice to see Florida in the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Are you from Florida?
Yeah, I'm from Florida too. I'm from South Florida. I know I don't always sound like it. People always say I have a up north accent, and I have no idea why. But yeah, I'm from Florida too.
I'm from South Florida. Actually, my sister was born on the boat. I want to say in the Bahamas or Jamaica, coming to America.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
my mom, when she was first coming over here, she had to go from Port-au-Prince to Bimini, and then she came to Miami. My dad went the other way. He went to Mexico, and then went all the way around, and he reached Florida.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, I'm in South Florida, Palm Beach County,
Mhm.
Hendry County now. So,
Yeah.
but I think America was never great for most people, not even white women, then it kind of got a little bit better for them, but it was never great. And because the United States is going to be greater than 50% collectively minorities, or what people consider minorities, these white men is in a tizzy.
Hmm.
And that's why they've always been WEI, white, entitled, and incompetent. Everybody has always done the work for them,
Hmm.
and they want their slaves back. But even now, they have gotten welfare. That's why you see FAFO around the internet, these farmers, because they've always gotten welfare since the creation of the United States.
Right. I mean, the
They want it
system.
back.
Right, correctly. I mean, the system has always been built to benefit a certain demographic of people, and it's usually white men. You know what I mean? Now, um it doesn't like say it like in letters of the law or anything like that. But if like for example, we bought the farmers. Most we have huge farming subsidies. Most farmers in this country are of course white men, and
99%.
99%, yeah. And then when black farmers want to get those same loans, want to get those same grants, they're less likely to get them. They get denied for some reason or another, and they never tell us why. You know what I mean? So it's not like the system is not built to. The system is literally built for them, and now that things I've heard, I've always reminded of the saying, to the privilege, equality feels like oppression. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Stay out my brain.
Exactly. Like trying to make things more equal, they feel like they're being oppressed, and it's kind of ridiculous.
The school voucher system is resegregation 2.0. If you live in Florida and you happen to be in Miami,
Hmm.
Florida is about 67 counties, and about 57 of them redneck. And in these small towns, they had a couple of elementary schools, one middle school, and one high school. So you could segregate the kids kind of at the elementary school level, and they could bust in barely enough. But when it got to middle school and high school, they had all these little things called private schools.
Hmm.
And now they're trying to do resegregation 2.0 to take tax dollars so they can have that without having to pay out their pocket. Because if you went to the high schools, these towns would look like ghost towns because they would have put their kids in private schools except for the ones who could not afford to pay.
Exactly.
And they want their slaves back. They want to reverse engineer it. They got, since what, 65 or whatever, a biracial, aka black man in the White House,
Hmm.
and that was too much. And you make them be less than 50% of the population, meaning they can't vote themselves in. And you see the taking up of some abortion. You see all of these practices that are rooted in racism, because they cannot sit at the top of the hierarchy. They will have to compete on an equal playing field. And as far as I think that was just a pacifist. 3% of federal contracts go to minorities collectively. Black people alone make up 13%. We shouldn't have been asking for DEI. We should be suing for taxation without representation, even in our federal contracts. At a bare minimum, we should be receiving, people of color or minorities should be receiving federal grants to the tune of what they are represented in the population.
Oh,
So
100%.
we have been pacifists and accepting the crumbs when we need to be going to snatch the whole thing in court and stop asking.
And you know what? That even though it's a personal conspiracy theories of mine, personal conspiracy theory of mine, I think that's why they took out MLK, because MLK, when he was focused on getting legal justice and not having segregation anymore, he then focused on having economic justice. He criticized capitalism all the time. He criticized America going into the Vietnam War. He even said, "We're coming to get our check." And then what happened? Like a year after that, what happened to him? Took him
But
out.
I was listening to a guy from Canada. He was talking about, this, and he wanted to go to the Bible. He wanted to say, black skin was the curse of Cain. I like, no, I think you're talking about Ham and Shem. I say, but why would black skin be the curse? We already over in Africa and Egypt. Everything over there got color.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that don't have color is white people, and y'all 14 to 15% of the population. Your white skin was the absolute curse, so you could stand out in the world. In the world, white people stand out because they lack it. But you see how they switched it up and reversed it.
Yes, put it down and reverse it. And you know what? Like I've always found like that because I heard that when I was growing up in church as well. The entire like curse of Ham thing. I always found that ridiculous because it's like melanin and dark skin is just so beautiful. You know what I mean? So how could it possibly be a curse? But they always have to make something up in order to justify their
Yeah.
brutality. You know what I mean? And I'm like me. I've always said this. White supremacy does not only white supremacy also affects white people too. You know what I mean? Because this is like how we said the entire criminal justice system is built upon white supremacy, and they target poor whites. You know what I mean? They target poor whites, so it's not like it's not affecting y'all too. Like, hey, appreciate that for every atheist. Like, it's not like it doesn't affect y'all too. Y'all gotta look out for this, man. And that's why I say being woke is good for everyone, because you are aware of that in injustice. If you're a white person and you're aware of that injustice that happens towards black people, then you'll be aware to fight against it and be like, hey, wow, this affects me too. You know what I mean? Like, that's why being woke is good for everyone, and folks want to
And they,
fight it.
but woke is this here. The majority of people that, if they want to stereotype people, let's do this right, stereotype. The people that commit the most crimes, and we're not going to talk about percent, is white people in the U.S.
It is.
They commit the most crimes all around. So if they were going to be pew-pewing people and they supposed to be scared for their life, it should be from white people, since they're the ones who commit the most crimes in the United States. If they want to make that be the narrative, the things should match. If you are the race that's committing the most crimes in this country, people should be afraid of you. Police should be afraid of you, not the people who commit the least.
Yeah, I've always found
But you
that.
see how that logic don't work?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, I've always find that to be a bit ridiculous, the whole black on black crime thing. It's like white folks, they hurt each other all the time, y'all. Like, what are we talking about?
It's proximity.
It's proximity,
It's
exactly.
proximity.
Just proximity.
And the fact that we're over policed. I was at my daughter's school a couple of weeks ago, Cloiston Middle School. Cloiston
Closer.
Middle School. And they had 3 white boys in there. They had left the door open who had counterfeit money that was so believable that they were spending it and buying candy with the other kids. And they say, we're going to call your parents. They didn't call the police. And I'm like, where they got that counterfeit money? From their mammies and their pappas. But they didn't want to open that can of worms.
Exactly.
But that's how we're over police. Because that would have been my black 13-year-old sons or something.
Police.
The police would have been they would have been in cuffs.
Exactly. Police. Give me a second, Cynthia. GP, you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
There you are. All right. What I was gonna say. You want to go ahead and chime in?
Well, y'all was talking about like wokeness and like political. 'Cause I didn't want to like chime in about something completely off topic, which y'all was talking about.
No, yeah. We're just talking about like how the racial issues in America are. Right now, I'm bringing up people who are not opposition because until I actually get opposition. But yeah, we spoke. Me and you spoke last time. You wanted me to clarify, I think wokeness and stuff like that, and things about like religion. Yeah, we had a polite conversation. But yeah, I
Yeah.
just want to know if you had wanted to chime in on anything.
About any of the points on the board.
Yeah, because I think we agreed with most of it. But if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
you're Muslim. Am I right?
No, I'm Christian.
You're Christian. Okay. What did we speak about last time?
We it was you. We spoke about the Oh, I think it was. Did you add a new topic? Because I don't remember. There was like there's no good evidence for a God. I don't remember that last time.
Oh yeah, because I kind of switched it up because that one was why should I believe in God, but I kind of switched it up.
Oh yeah. That's what we talk about. Why I should believe in God, like, and then faith is unreliable truth, and then the holy books are not evidence.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I
Oh
guess
yeah, I remember you now. We did talk a little bit about like the Bible and its historicity and the Quran and its historicity
yeah,
and stuff like that.
I guess we talk about the there is no good evidence for a God.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, you want to talk
So
about that?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
sure. Cynthia, I'm gonna drop you just for a little bit. All right.
I'm good. Yeah, I was almost about to take my nap anyway. But thank you for allowing me up, and I'm following you.
Not a problem. Appreciate you, Cynthia.
All right. You have a great day.
You too. All right,
all right.
GP. Yeah, sure. We can go ahead and have a quick talk for a second. Yeah, sure. I don't think there's any good evidence for a God. You think there is?
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
What would you say that evidence is?
The universe itself, of how it's built and everything that goes along with it.
So like existence itself, you think is evidence for like a creator outside of it?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Like everything has a cause.
Mhm.
Yeah, everything has a cause. So for me, well, it's also my other point about how everything in the universe is built exactly for us to survive and thrive. Because like if little details were off, me and you wouldn't be talking on the phone right now. We'll be dead. Society wouldn't even be alive if the universe was created exactly how it was created. And
Mhm.
I guess another thing is how like with the Big Bang, it's
Mhm.
like there has to be something that caused the Big Bang. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be from nowhere, unless you think like the universe is just eternal.
Right,
But
gotcha. I
yeah,
don't think there's anything wrong with the model of the universe being eternal. That's the first thing. I mean, I know that's not intuitive to us because we understand time being linear. There's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. That's how we understand how time works. But just because that's how we understand it doesn't mean that's necessarily how it works. But the second
mhm.
thing that I would say is that um, the universe existing or existence in of itself does not imply to me that there had to be a creator because the universe and life itself could just be an emergent property. Like we know that is probably emergence, right? So the universe can also just be emergence. It can just be natural forces that we don't really understand yet.
But what are those? That's the thing. Like I'll go to another. I'll go to another reason why I feel like there's good evidence for God
Sure.
is um the, I guess you could say, the, what was I gonna say, the Bible? Yeah, you could say the Gospels and,
Mhm.
well, and the resurrection of Jesus.
Right.
For
I
one.
mean, when it comes to the gospel, there's problems there because some of the gospels contradict the others. And the resurrection of Jesus has never actually shown to be true. It's just something that we read in the story. Now, it's fine to believe it. I don't have an issue with anybody believing it, but like I don't think that it makes it true just because of the Gospels. Caddy, I'm gonna bring you up in a second. All right, let me just talk to GP in a second. I'm gonna bring you up in a second, Caddy. But yeah, I don't think just because the Gospels say so makes it true.
Can you name some contradictions from the Gospels?
Yeah, sure. In one of the Gospels, it says that Jesus was crucified in the evening. The other one says that he was crucified in the morning. One of the Gospels says that it was Mary Magdalene who went to go see him alone. The other one says that it was 5 women who went to go see him. One of them says that they went inside and saw that it was an empty tomb. Another one says that they were outside and an angel was standing there. One of them, I think, the Gospel of Matthew, as a matter of fact, Matthew even says that, there was a whole zombie apocalypse, like dead people started rising from their graves and started walking the streets of Jerusalem. None of the other Gospels even mentioned that. Yeah, I mean, so there's a whole bunch of problems there.
I got two things. Do you got like the verse where it's like this zombie thing? And another thing, I think I can explain of like why there might seem like there's like contradictions. I'll give it like I guess an analogy, like a police report, right? Let's say me and you, right?
Give me a second. Moth, I do see you, all right, Moth? I'm gonna bring you up in a second. Go ahead.
All right. Let's just say me and you, right? We walking down the street and we see like a huge robbery or whatever, and like a couple other people see the robbery. Not every like somebody like me, I might say, oh that guy he has long black hair, or another girl might say, oh no he has brownish black hair, or another dude might like, no his shoes were red, no the other dude no his shoes are black. So the whole point of the gospel is that they're eyewitnesses. So they're not like, for example, if it'll seem more fake if each story was the exact same, because it wouldn't make any sense. If supposedly 500 people saw the resurrection, they wouldn't all be saying the same thing. So when they write it a bit differently, like what was the example you used of the contradiction?
Like one saw like only in one gospel it was only Mary Magdalene, but in another gospel it was like 5 women, and in one gospel they saw an angel, another one they saw 2 angels. Like, so like I understand what you mean though, like it won't be exactly the same, right? But you see,
Right.
that's another problem. In other gospels, they are exactly the same. That it's called the synoptic problem, actually, as a matter of fact. And I think 3 or 4 of the gospels, like all the words are exactly the same and in the exact way and in the exact writing. So we know that one of the gospels obviously copied the others. It's called the synoptic problem. So that's number one. So what you're saying, that it doesn't make sense that if all of them were the same because it look like someone's copying or it's fake, that actually does happen in the gospels. But the problem is that when it comes to the contradictions, these are like major details. Like, for example, if me and you saw a robbery happen and I saw him wear a blue shirt, but you saw him wear a purple shirt, that's not too much of a contradiction because blue and purple are very close together. So they're there. But if I say we saw the robbery, I saw him wear a black shirt and he was carrying a bazooka, and you saw him wear a red shirt and he escaped in a truck and was carrying an AK-47, these are major different details. You see what I'm saying? So that's one of the problems we have.
I get what you're saying, but also couldn't they like when you're saying that one saw one woman, another saw multiple women, couldn't they both be true? Because I believe in the Gospels, it doesn't, like, for example, if Mark, let's say Mark, if it writes down, oh, only one woman came, well, that could be during that exact time. And then in James, right? Not James, I'm tripping. Luke, no, Matthew, I'm tripping. Anyway, if another gospel would say we saw 5 women, that could be during a different time on the same day. So I feel like the gospels, they like it's just because one gospel doesn't inherently say something another gospel says doesn't make them both untrue. Like they could just be adding on with the whole, you know what I'm saying?
But that's the problem. Which one of them are true? It can't be one. It can't be one woman, and it can't be 5 women because they said that these both happened at the same time. So which one was it? Like if you say that, if let's say we're both in a house, right? And I said that my sister went to the store at 5 p.m. and she bought a gallon of milk, and you say his sister went to the store at 5 p.m. and she bought orange juice, a gallon of milk, and a giraffe, they both can't be right. One of them is wrong.
That's a fair point. The comment says the Gospels weren't eyewitness.
No, don't worry about the comments. Just talk to me. Comments get distracting. I'm sorry, y'all. No this to my comments, y'all. It's just like the guests kind of get distracted when they trying to answer y'all and answer me at the same time. Don't worry about the comments while you're up here. Just talk to me. But you see what I mean by that, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm just I just got baptized, accepted in the faith.
Mhm.
I'm not that educated. Like I know, some stuff. I'm not that educated, so I gotta go back in the text and keep reading, looking at other sources. Cause I'm gonna say that I'm not like a what's the word for it? Apologist.
An
Like
apologist, yeah.
I'm not gonna just believe in something because I believe. I'm gonna listen to what people like you have to say,
Hmm.
like unbiased. You don't believe in it. Ooh,
Yeah, yeah.
listen.
I mean, yeah. Don't just listen to me. I could get some stuff wrong. Yeah, I mean, so definitely
Yeah, I can,
always read all the sources. Definitely read the scholarship as well. There's Bart Ehrman, there's Frank Lacona. I think both of them are scholars. One of them is a Christian scholar. Another is an atheist scholar. So definitely like read them. Now they are heavy reading. You know what I mean? Because Bart Ehrman and Mike Lacona, their books are like 200-300 pages. You're not gonna get it all in one sitting. It's gonna take like months reading through all this stuff. There's also the case for Jesus. There's there's that book, and there's rebuttals to the case for Jesus as well. Read those. Yeah, you know what I mean. Now I haven't read all of the case for Jesus. It's coming like next week. I got to read that, and then I'm gonna get a rebuttal to it to see what that person says. Um, Take a look at all the scholarship. I suggest following Dan McLennan. He's a biblical scholar. Um, there's a deconstruction zone as well, but he's a scholar. A lot of the Christians on TikTok are they're 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 kind of uh, Reehoo. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I be
yeah.
watching. I be
So
watching the TikTok lives. I actually, and there's this one guy. What's his name? You might have heard of him before. Big John Still. His quality is pretty good, and he's like anyways. But do we have enough time for another topic, or is that it?
yeah, we have enough time for that topic. We got about 5 minutes left. Caddy, is you there? Yeah, about Caddy up. Caddy, give me a few moments, all right? Because I know you want to get in on it. Yeah. Well, what else you got, GP?
Okay. The one that says holy books are not evidence. Why do you say that?
The reason why I say that is because if we just take holy books as evidence, like for example, if we took the Bible as evidence that Elijah flew into the sky, we'll also have to take evidence that we'll also have to take Spider-Man #1 as evidence that a kid named Peter Parker got bitten by a radioactive spider and has powers, but we don't believe that. So it's
Right.
like it's all claims. It's not evidence. How do we actually show what they're saying to be true?
Well, with the Bible specifically, I think I'm not I'm not gonna say definitely, but I believe it's one of the most like documented uh texts in history, and I feel like that that should be what's it called again? That should be some truth, and there's also outside sources outside from the Bible that specifically with the Gospels and Jesus that help the claim of the holy books being reliable, Bible being reliable. You heard of what's his name? Plinier the Younger. You ever heard of him before?
Um, Maybe. I mean, when it comes to the Bible being the most documented book, yeah, sure, because it became very popular because of European colonialism, but I don't think that makes the claim that it makes that it says and they're true. It is influential, just because of colonialism. It made it very popular to be around the world, but that doesn't necessarily make it true. You see what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that is a fallacy. Right. Um. Here's the thing with
Hmm.
me when I look at the Bible, right? Is that for me, I'm looking at it just like as a person perspective. If if for example, you know who Paul is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Paul and James. If people like that who originally were against Jesus, were against God, were Romans, were against everything, now Paul being an apostle, giving his life for Jesus, I feel like that has to mean something. I don't feel like Paul would die over something he didn't believe was true, or any of the other apostles, or any of the church fathers, or any of that.
Yeah, I
Well, that
actually do think that the church, the early church fathers actually thought that what they believed was true. I don't doubt that, but I don't think that necessarily is what makes it true. You know what I mean? Because people unalive for false beliefs like all the time, like Jim Jones in the People's Church. Like Jim Jones convinced a whole bunch of people that he was gonna take them to heaven, and 900 people unalive themselves before it. Like it
Right.
doesn't necessarily make it true.
Okay, so what do you consider? What would you consider evidence for the Bible being true?
Um, there's evidence that there's historical things in the Bible that's true. Like we could find archaeological evidence of the kingdom of Judah and Israel, King David and Absalom. Like archaeological evidence, things that are like testable, repeatable. What I mean, data points that we can point out to, things like that. So I don't doubt that there are like historical things in the Bible that actually are true and did happen. Abraham was probably real, you know what I mean?
Mm.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that, like I said, Elijah flew up into the sky. Elijah probably was a real character, but like going around being, a wizard preacher. But that doesn't mean he actually flew into the sky. He probably just fell off a cliff, and people don't know what happened to him. So he just made up, stories about him. There might like I don't even have a problem with Jesus actually being a real person. Jesus probably was a real person, but
Right.
again, that doesn't mean that like he walked on water. How do we even show that he did so?
Okay. I see. You have a problem with the supernatural claims.
The
Is what I'm getting
supernatural claims, yeah, we have no evidence of those things.
at. Okay. So what I would say, I know time probably running out. I'll say one more thing.
Mhm.
Is that I'll give another example. Let's say God, I know you don't believe in God, but let's say God, if he's real, God comes down and speaks, right?
Mhm.
And you record it on your phone, right? In 50 years, do you think people will believe that?
Yes, because we have better ways to keep records now.
I mean, people, you could say, oh, it's just CGI, or I mean, there's a lot of ways to mimic and with AI and everything else. 50
Yeah,
years, 100 years.
right. There's a way to figure out what's AI and what's not.
It's true. But is that time?
Yeah, that's about time. I do appreciate you being up here, though, GP. You're a polite person, really cool. Caddy,
All right.
you have anything? Cause I have a guest over on my YouTube, and he's a friend of mine. I really want to get to him. Oh crap!
Yeah. Other than that, the Western mind, see, the Western philosophy and Western mind and Western religion subscribes to dualistic notions of the world. And when you talk about science and when you talk about the mind, determinism and free will, there's no consensus in among the different subjects that cover those things. There's no consensus on that. When you talk about the infinite and the finite model in science, there is no consensus on that. That means there is no agreement on that. There are people who subscribe to certain particular camps, and when you say you are Abrahamic, you subscribe to the finite. You subscribe to a level to the finite model and free will. You don't really just subscribe to determinism to a level. So, when we're dealing with Western capitalism and Western colonialism and Western power dynamics, it's highly based in materialistic, capitalistic, and dualistic frameworks of thinking set by philosophers that were very materialistic and approached it through a very materialistic and Western lens. When you approach things through a more indigenous or more Eastern traditional philosophy understanding, you understand the infinite model more, and you understand determinism a lot more, such as Advaita Vedanta, Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, and all the other and other indigenous faiths as well. So what you have is really two different types of ways of looking at the world and reality. And often the West chooses the colonizer model because it has the dualism where it can allow for conquering, it can allow for exploitation, it can allow for all these other problems because it frameworks everything into the framework of good versus evil. And these are subjective reality perceptions. What might be good for one person in one area of the world across the other area of the world is considered very, very bad. So what we're really talking about is heavy indoctrination into a materialistic, capitalistic, Abrahamic society that doesn't want to separate from its materialistic attachments and its ego. In fact, it wants to conquer and control and rule by it, and that is the crux of the problem. And a lot of people are grown up in this society and have to deal with that, and they are raised with that. So it's a very hard thing to break. It's a very hard thing to switch the gears of the mind to not focus on these ideas of so heavily dualistic ideas, which make a lot of tribalism and a lot of problems for our world.
Gotcha. That was a lot, and I'm not gonna lie, I may not understand all of it, but I gotta do some more reading into it. But that was a lot, and I think I agree with most of it. I was able to follow a lot of it. Some of it I didn't, but that's okay. I need to read more of my philosophy. I appreciate you, Caddy.
Yeah, just read real quick. Just read about non-dualism philosophy versus dualistic philosophy, and the infinite model in science versus the finite model in science, and determinism versus free will. Those are the subjects you can look at and understand. There's no consensus on these things, but there are various camps that people subscribe to.
Gotcha. Appreciate you, man.
No problem, man.
All right, y'all. Over on my TikTok, y'all gonna see this little black box over here. Y'all see me moving it around. It's a little black box. That's over from my YouTube. Let me see if I can hear him. Moth, can you hear me? I just unmuted you. There you are, Moth. You there? I'm not sure if y'all can hear the background. Yo, Moth, you there? Dang, I think I took too long to get to him, y'all. Yeah, I might have took too long to get to him, so he probably can't hear me anymore. Yo, Moth, you there? Oh, you hear the background noise? Cool. So that means people on my TikTok and on my YouTube can hear the person. All right, Moth, go ahead and come back up. I'm gonna put something in the in my YouTube comments. I'm gonna let him come back up. Oh, he needs 2 to 5 minutes. All right, yeah, he just needs 2 to 5 minutes, y'all. Not a problem. He just needs 2 to 5 minutes. All right, y'all. Go ahead and keep liking the live and keep sharing. I do appreciate you all being here. This was a good night. I don't think I was able to get all of the recording. For some reason, it actually my live actually went down over on YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that. So I actually go ahead and need to put it back up. But if you are watching over on my YouTube right now, if you see the link in the description, you can go ahead and join the live. I am still taking guests. I might stop taking guests in a few minutes because I need to get to sleep. I need to go to bed because I still got work tomorrow. This is not my full-time job yet, y'all. This is not my full-time job yet. So until I get monetized, then this could probably be my full-time job, and I could get start doing merchandise and open up a Patreon and do all that. I'm going to share this in one of my Facebook groups, and I'm gonna see how that goes. Keep liking the live, y'all. I do want to go ahead and get more guests, more opposition. Let's see where I should share it to. All right, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and share this to one of my groups. Hey, I appreciate y'all helping me reach the 80% of that live goal. Go ahead and let's go ahead and keep smashing that goal. That's my alarm for. All right. All right, went ahead and shared that. Let's see if Moth is ready. I don't think he's ready yet. All right, Moth, I got you back on. Let me know if you're ready. All right, y'all, we about to achieve that live goal. I appreciate y'all. We about to achieve that live goal. I do appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody who was here. I went ahead and shared this in a Facebook group. I'm gonna see if I can get any guests. He's about to get home in 1 minute. Not a problem. All right, gonna mute that up real quick. He's about to get home in 1 minute, and then he could go ahead and jump on. All right, y'all. Go ahead and keep liking. Help me hit that goal. I do have a subscription goal as well. I have 5 subscribers so far. I'm trying to get to 10. Please consider subscribing. Please consider subscribing. I want to keep doing these. I would like to do these every day, but I can't do these every day because I gotta work, bro. You know what I mean? I gotta work, bro. So I can't be doing these every day. I can't be doing these every day. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to go to sleep soon because I still got I still got work tomorrow. You know what I mean? I still got work tomorrow, so until this is paying me what I get paid at my job. Yeah, this ain't happening every day. There are people who go live every day. Yeah, content creation can be overwhelming because right after I do this, I have to go ahead and edit all of it. Hey Juju, how's it going? Right after I do this, I need to go and edit all of it. You know what I mean? And I'm not even sure if the footage is going to be able to be used because again, it crashed over on my YouTube. So there's like maybe about 5 to 10 minutes that's completely missing. You know what I mean? Which freaking sucks. So I need to go ahead and edit that. I could probably get it from my Twitch though, because my Twitch records everything. Yeah, I think it'll definitely be worth it in the long run. If I could, if content creation becomes one of my main sources of income, or can replace my source of income, then cool. Because I definitely would want to. My YouTube channel is Volsy Talks. It's the same as my TikTok.
Hey, hello.
So my YouTube is Volsy Talks. You can all look at the link in my bio as well. The link in my bio has the YouTubes, the Discord, and the Twitch as well. I'm surprised I didn't have people crashing out on my Twitch tonight. I usually do. The Twitch is usually where the crazy people go. That's why I haven't done a Kick yet either, because Kick is where all the rejects go. All the rejects go to Kick. Okay, there's Moth. Moth, you there? Hey, Moth, can you hear me?
Hey, Bossy, can you hear me? Hey, Bossy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't think you can hear me, y'all. Hold on, give me a second. Oh, you only hear me on YouTube.
Hey,
I wonder
Bossy.
what it is.
Hey, Bossy.
Yeah, give me a sec. Give me a sec.
I can only hear you on YouTube. I can
All right,
only
Moth,
hear
you
you
hear me
on
now?
YouTube.
Nah, he still doesn't hear me. Hold on, give me a second. All right, Moth, you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
There we go.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Now I got you. All right, everyone on TikTok. Oh, he sounds loud. Give me a second. I just gotta put you down.
I can change audio devices. I can
No,
change
I
audio
think you're good.
devices. Give me a
It's on my
second.
end. You were loud. All right, cool. All right, turn them down a little bit. All right, Moth. How's it going, bro?
Everything been good, bro. How you been?
I've been all right.
Everything been good, bro. How you
Man. I
been?
just been doing this content, been debating it for a little bit, and it's actually been going good. You know what I mean? I've gotten like a huge amount of subscribers so far just from doing this type of content. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get back to monetization, or not trying to get it back, but I'm trying to get to monetization, and everything's been all right. I don't know if I let you know, but like me and my girl, we're expecting a young king. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
that's been
congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate
Oh,
it, man.
congratulations! You know, I just had a daughter.
Yeah,
You know, I just had a
I know
daughter.
you just had one. How old is she, bro?
She's one now, so I ain't just have her, but yeah. She's one now, so I ain't just have her,
Oh
but
yeah, she's one now. Man, it's been so long, man. Yeah, we gotta start keeping up with each other, man. It's been so long.
No, I mean I keep up with you, bro. I mean, I keep up with you, bro. I mean, I watched multiple videos. I've heard a lot of debates, and this is my first time joining. I'm sorry I never joined, but yeah, I definitely
it's all
follow you, bro.
good. So that's my fault. I haven't been keeping up with you, so I need to do my part. Yeah, I mean, as a homie, and start keeping up with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, definitely appreciate it. How's everything been going? I'm sorry, y'all. I know that I'm talking about TikTok real quick. I know we just shooting the shit right now, but this the homie. You know what I mean? So I gotta talk to him first before we get into any type of discussion. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Business is good. But nah, bro, God is good. Business is good, man. Like, God is good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like everything is good. Yeah. Everything is good, man. You know, I'm blessed.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely, man. I know you got a boy, you got a girl now, and business has been good. Man, that's amazing. That's awesome, man. Me, I've gotten into the insurance industry. I'm trying to work on another license, and that license is gonna help me, you know, become like a claims adjuster, even independently. You know what I mean? If I become an independent claims adjuster, I'll be able to make 6 figures from that.
Oh, damn, that's major, and hopefully you can make. That's major, and hopefully you can make 6 figures with this too.
Hopefully I can. You know what I mean? Because I actually like streaming. I like discussing things. I don't like yelling at people. I like having actual discussions and conversations, which is why I always love talking to you, because our discussions always been fruitful. You know what I mean? We never yell at each other, call each other stupid. It's just people with maybe 2 different viewpoints and could get to a point where we could see where each other's coming from, even if we disagree with it. You feel me?
Yeah, and I was gonna actually congratulate you on that, bro. I've been listening to the stream. I don't know. Feel like an hour and a half now, but you've been very. Even my girl was listening. You've been very. Even my girl was listening, and she was like, "You seem very calm and collected." Others started kind of getting a little frustrated. And I was just thinking, like, they're just mad that they're losing. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
They're just mad that they listen.
They mad, you know. And I'm like, they mad, you know. And I'm like, one thing about you I've always respected about you is that I don't think that you debate. I think you have discussions, and you've always been able to hear the other side, make your point. But just like when the guy, you couldn't find any evidence on the guy that was saying, what was that? Something about Medicaid. I think he was saying that all Medicaid. I think he was saying that all Florida. He was arguing that Florida, something to do with Florida laws. I can't even remember exactly what you were saying, but he was saying every state is income based. But you even said like, hey, bro, you're right. It's something about you I always like. You're able to just say, hey, you're right when you're right, and let's move forward. You know what I mean? Like let's stick to the main point. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If something is right, then it's right. You know what I mean? Now I do know that in Florida, when I worked in Florida, I do know that there were people who did not qualify, you know what I mean? Even if they were like homeless and stuff like that, they just didn't qualify, you know what I mean? But like income is one of the criteria, which is what I should have been clear on. It is one of the criteria, just not the only one. They take a lot of it into consideration, you know what I mean? So, excuse me. Yeah, so.
I do want to say, I know you did that for a living. I know the guy kind of questioned that, you could have been lying, but it's something you definitely did.
Yeah, I definitely did that for a living. Hold on real quick. It's always someone in the comments. Hey, Dylan, like I always say, he only has 1 follower. I'm not even sure if he can even come up. But Dylan, always come up. I don't chat to the comments, all right? Come up. But yeah. So I always like to have discussions and fruitful just fruitful conversation, you know what I mean? To get somewhere. But yeah, everything has been good with you though. Couple said it.
Yeah. And you sound like everything been good with you too, bro. And you sound like everything been good with you too, bro. How many months is your girl? If you don't mind me asking, I don't know if you said that publicly or not.
What is that? I think she's 4 now. She's 15 weeks, so I think she's 4 months now.
Nice. Let me know when the baby shower is, bro. Let me know when the baby shower is, bro. I'll send y'all something now.
We planning it now, as a matter of fact, because like I live in Central Florida area, but most of my family is still in South Florida. So we might do like one up here for her family because her parents are like a little older. They might not be able to move around a lot. So we might do one up here and then one down in South Florida. You know what I mean? And we do one in South Florida. If you can come through, definitely come through. But if not, you know what I mean? I'll definitely send you the address. You can send everything down.
Well, you ever heard of the Amazon? Well, you ever heard of the Amazon?
Yeah.
You heard of the Amazon cart, right? Yeah, where you can, so if you if you get like a baby registry on Amazon, just stuff that you need, I'll get some items, bro. No big deal. I don't gotta even come down. I'll just get the items, really. But yeah, unless you want to, that's different.
Gotcha.
But
No,
yeah.
if you can come down, definitely. But if not, then yeah, sure, we'll send you the baby registry. I just gotta tell her to send it to me so I can send it to you. And boom, yeah, you could definitely get us something. I'll send you the address where to send everything, and yeah, man, it's all appreciated. You feel me?
Yeah, I'll be happy to, bro. I really would. Congratulations. I'll be happy to, bro. I really would. Congratulations again. That's and it's a son. You said, right? Bro, that's major, bro. I mean, you have, bro. That's major, bro. I mean, you have, bro. Having a son first, bro. I mean, yeah, much. You know
now,
what I mean?
I actually thought I was gonna have a girl. You know what I mean? Actually, we thought I was gonna have a girl, but she we got the genetic testing back, and it said it's a boy. So, yeah, but definitely.
Y'all didn't do like a gender reveal. Y'all didn't do like a
Oh
gender
no,
reveal?
we didn't do a gender reveal. She didn't want to do all that. She's like, man, we ain't doing all that. I said, okay, all right, it's not a problem. But yeah, we didn't do a gender reveal. She didn't want to do all that. But it's all good. Like I still am happy. Still really appreciate her and giving me a son.
No, absolutely. I was gonna say she must. No, absolutely. I was gonna say she must be a little older because, bro, it seems like a gender reveal is almost like another baby shower with women these days. Like you have to do it.
Yeah,
Just like a way to
exactly.
spend money.
But her like she's she's younger than me. But like she does like really mature, but she doesn't want. Not saying that people do gender reveals are immature. It's just one of those things that she's not interested in. Like nah, we ain't gotta do all that. That's too much. Let's go ahead and do our baby showers and we'll be good. We ain't gotta do none of that,
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. It's really insane. It's really insane. I did one, but we did a really simple one. We did like this little one where you bake a cake with the color of whatever the baby is. You get 2 cups, you put it in the cake, and it was pink when it came out. So for my son, I never had to do nothing like that. These things kind of got popular like what in the
People been
last
doing
5
all
years
these
maybe?
gender reveals
Something like
and
that?
they've been going all out. I think one person actually started a fire in California because of her their gender reveal, like the confetti or the props. They caught something on fire and they created like a 2-acre fire because of it. It's like, bro, y'all crazy, man. Y'all doing too much with these gender reveals. Y'all doing way too much.
Nah, for real, man. But I've seen some videos too that I just went down. Yeah, that fire story is definitely true. That's happened, but just a bunch of things. Even them spending all this money for them to make a mistake and pop the balloon early or something, and like it didn't even get it wasn't even like the actual gender reveal like how it should have been. So anyway, it's just anyway. Hopefully my next kid I don't have to even do all of that.
So you trying to go for another one?
I want another son. If God, I want another son. If God allows it. Yeah, I want another son.
Not
Sure.
a problem. What I want, we thinking that if we do another one, if we do a second one, then it's definitely gonna be a daughter. But we're probably not gonna try again for like another maybe 5 years. We're gonna wait till the first one is like 5 or 6, maybe even 7, and then try for another one. But I don't want them too far apart. You know what I mean? I want him in high school the same time she's in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually agree. I don't agree because that's I don't agree because that's a little bit of a gap.
7 years. Yeah, it's like 7 years. You know what I mean? So it's like I want it to be at least 5 or 6. You know what I mean? So they can kind of go to school together, if that makes sense.
Then you might want to look for like 2 and 3 between
ages 2
and 3. Yes, sir. Because that way they're in middle school and high school together. Middle school and high school together.
True, because I was in middle school and high school with my sisters. So that is true. Yeah.
A 5-year gap, they're never going to be in school together. Actually, 5-year gap, they're never going to be in school together. Actually, maybe elementary, like he's going to be in when she start pre-K, he's going to be in 5th grade, but moving on to middle school. Yeah, and then he'll be moving on to middle school and then high school before she even get to that point. Baby, can you give me a lighter? Yes, a lighter. It's fine. Yes. Sorry about that, Vossy.
No, all good.
Sorry about that, Vossy.
But yeah, bro. What time is it? It's 10:40 now. I'm gonna go ahead and probably gonna go ahead and go to sleep soon. Hold on, I might have one more guest over on my TikTok, but I'm gonna get out of here soon though.
Well, Bossy, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't really. Bossy, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't really want to debate with you about any of these topics that we didn't. I feel like we debated about most of these anyway. So, in the past.
Yeah, we have. I just wanted to catch up with you to tell you the truth.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
same
I knew
here,
we wasn't
here.
gonna read debate much. I was like, man, I just want to catch up with him for real because that's my boy. I haven't spoke to him in a while, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, man, hope you don't hope you don't want to get into the debate. I'm like,
no, man, it's all good. I'm like, I'm not even gonna debate this guy. I'm just gonna go ahead and catch up, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to kill you in front of everybody. I don't want to kill you in front of everybody. I don't want to have to do you like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, but Buff, I appreciate you, man.
Nah, thank you for having me, man. Next one you have, I'll try to actually come with some.
Not a problem, bro. I appreciate you,
man. All right, you have a good night. I'll be listening in.
You too.
All right, you have a good night. I'll be listening in.
All right, Ryan, you might be my last guest. Ryan, you there?
Awesome, man. Awesome. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome, dude.
I'm assuming you're over 18, and I think you disagree with reparations, correct?
Yeah. I am over 18. Unfortunately, man, I'm fucking getting old.
Yeah, man. So same here.
Yeah, I'm like, I was gonna get out of my truck, but I'm like, my knees hurt, dude. I'm just gonna sit here for a minute.
The knees been killing me, man. The knees been killing. All right, but yeah. So you were asking about reparations. Your question was you were for who, but provided by who?
Yeah. So I get what you're saying. Like, listen, I've learned that disagreements are a natural part of who the fuck we are as people. So. Mm-hmm. Even if I disagree with what you were saying, like even if it's one or two of those bullet points, I don't think you're going to change my mind. I'm not going to change yours. It's just the one question I have for is reparations, because I've heard conversations and I've heard people talk, and I get the point of view from your community and the African American community here. But I guess my question would be the what's the word I'm looking for? The practicality of getting it done. Like, sorry, the words escaping here, but like
no, I know execution. Exactly. The execution. There we go. Yeah, I know exactly where you're going for. Yeah, I feel that. Ooh, sorry about that. Yeah, that's the old man cough. But yeah, no, I get where you're coming from. All right, so I think it should be about the government, and the reason why it is because the government, I believe that the government should be responsible for any damage that they cause. So the government was complicit in causing damage to the African American community, so they should be the ones that prepare it and pay for it, right? Now it does happen through taxation. I do know several ways that it happens. The one that's the most contentious, the one that most people would disagree with, is monetary compensation. But the reason why I think that should happen is not just for slavery, but for the years of Jim Crow and redlining, which economically affected the black community and affected their ability to gain and build wealth.
Dude, I'd even concede Reagan, man. Fuck him too. I mean, the Reaganomics and what the CIA did to black communities. I'll go a step past Jim Crow. I get where you're coming from.
Right. So now the practicality of it, I do understand why that's a concern, because when people actually try to calculate how much monies was lost from just slavery, not even, Jim Crow and redlining and Reaganomics, but just slavery is upwards to $40 trillion. I get why that's probably impossible to do. I get it. You know what I mean? But I do think, like, if we get to like some more reasonable calculation, compensation should happen for that amount of time. I think I read a book where it said that the unfair wage and tax practices, African Americans mixed out on about, I think it was about $600 billion, and that's a little bit more reasonable. And just like how Issa said in the comments, I think it's something that should be generational. You know what I mean? Not just the grandmothers and grandfathers of African Americans, but also the fathers as well. You know what I mean? To repair that community and to build it up. Now, like I said, the monetary part was the most contentious part, probably the most complicated thing to figure out. Me in my head, I'm thinking.
I think, sorry, man, I'm going to cut you off because I agree. I mean, the monetary piece, whether it's 40 trillion, 600 billion, 40 million, whatever that number is, it's hard to put a number on it, right? You said it's hard to say, okay, 40 trillion, then it's hard to put a number on. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess when you say taxation, I think that's where not confusion, but like, I guess, taxation of who, is it going to be like a genealogy taxation? Like, are we going to like trace back to who and what and families were there to be taxed? Like, are we going to you know what I mean? Like, 23andMe, these people, so they'd be like, okay, your ancestors were here during slavery, they profited off slavery. Or, for example, like, what about, immigrants that immigrated well after slavery was over? They taxed as well. So that's my general question is, if we're talking about reparations, which I don't agree with, I get what you're saying, it's just who we taxing, because again, just to kind of overview point here, it's I had a conversation with a black woman the other day of we got in the somewhat similar, and she had said to me, your ancestors owned mine, and I was like, well, they didn't. My ancestors came up.
Yeah, exactly. No, I get it. Yeah, sure, I get it. What here's what I would say. You see how when the Japanese got reparations, it wasn't we taxed a certain group to pay the Japanese. It's just that the government came up with a budget and they gave it to them. It'll be the same thing. I don't think we should now every white American is going to get 60% taxed. That won't make any sense. You know what I mean? Yeah, that won't make any sense. So I do think like the government should come up with some sort of budget. It'll probably be like Issa said in the comments, generational, where it's going to be like over amount of time. This is how much each black family should receive in reparations over amount of time. An idea that I've heard before, which is actually an idea that Milton Friedman brought up, was like a negative taxation. You know what I mean? Basically, like all the taxes that you paid a year, you get rebated that at the end of the year every time we get our taxes back. I've heard of that idea. Right.
Yeah.
I've heard of that idea. Now, again, like I said, the monetary part is the most contentious part to figure out because not everybody agrees with it.
Are you talking more like a somewhat of like a stimulus check idea?
Exactly. Exactly. Like what the
if they can fucking print the money, I get what you're saying.
Exactly.
I guess to me, it's like if we're taxing people that had nothing to do with it, it's like that's where my issue comes in. Where it's like why are certain people paying higher taxes if their history didn't intertwine with that piece? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. I don't think anyone. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I don't think even like the hardest reparations activists out there would say that, oh, let's go ahead and tax all white people 70%. Like they don't believe that. You know what I mean? So it's basically just why would you even do that? Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely gonna be like a budget that the Congress comes up with and says that this is how much these people are owed generationally, etc. But the other part that I think most people would agree with is reformations of systems that negatively impacted African Americans, like the criminal justice system especially. And I think reformation of that system is actually the reason why I think that's more agreeable is that not only does at this point everybody kind of know that the criminal justice system is unfair to black people, but if we repair that system, it will also repair it will also be an advantage to all other poor communities of other racial people, like poor Hispanics, poor whites. I think besides poor blacks, the criminal justice system goes after poor whites as well because there's a lot of them.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, they go after they just go after poor people. They don't give a shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like
repairing,
even though it goes after black people in a way, like it goes back to black people mostly, it still affects all the poor people because, like you said, they don't give a shit about them. So repairing criminal justice system, repairing our healthcare system, I think we should. Most people would disagree. A lot of people disagree. We should have universal health care, but I think we should.
The thing is, I don't think anyone disagrees with that. I think everyone just is kind of like, man, we're so fucking in debt already. How do we, how if someone can present me a plan that's like, hey man, we all get free health care, I'd be like, fucking let's go, dude. Like all day. It's just I think.
I gotcha. You know what I always say about that? We're already paying for it. We just don't do it. It's Medicare.
Yeah.
You know
good point.
It's Medicare. So I've always said just open Medicare for everybody because I know we all access it when we're 65, which is I think is okay. But I think the moment that you're like 18, 19, if you're working at a surf shop or something like that, you're gonna be paying into Medicare. Open it. Just have them have that 19-year-old go ahead and access his Medicare right then and there. You feel me? That's what I would say.
Yeah, I think that's I think the only argument I'd have with the Medicare thing is the incentivization of good health care. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to incentivize proper health, good, real, actual health care. You know, like when you look at Canada, for example, like my wife, her whole family's from Canada, right? And her grandfather had a heart attack, and they had to literally ship him to America to get, you know, granted he paid out the fucking ass in order to do it, but in order to get the life-saving care he needed. And that's the one thing that when I look at certain countries, I think a lot of them do it correctly. I think Germany does it really well. Japan does it really well. Australia kind of, but like when you look at it, I think the one thing I would be nervous of is just the lack of I would say specialized in good health care if we just did the whole Medicare thing. You know what I mean? I think that would be it, because it kind of reminds me of the VA in a sense. Like coming from the VA, you know, it's just as more of a check in the box than a specialty kind of visit. You know, if we can come up with a way to incentivize the doctors, incentivize, because the problem is they're fucking over incentivized now, right? I mean, they're getting
they get paid hand over foot. Yeah, exactly. So now they're over incentivized. Yeah, I got you. I agree. I think France does it really well. Taiwan does it really well. The single payer systems do really well. They do it really well. And one of the concerns that people have is that, you know, our country is so big. That's not really a concern for me, honestly, because I said if we just open up Medicare for everybody, we'll be good. And not only that,
it's called scaling, man. I mean, to say our country's too big is silly. It's like, well, we're also the richest country, one of the richest countries. Like, let's
exactly.
Scale, you know
It's scaling, exactly. So what I would say is that if we were to open up Medicare for all, we don't necessarily have to get rid of private insurance, even though you'll have a lot more people who switch over. But that would, like I said, like what a lot of capitalists say, is force them to compete, right?
Okay, so you're saying give the option for private healthcare, but provide Medicaid for all. There
we go. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I see it. Listen, I dig that all day. That's a good idea. It's if I can hear some execution behind it, fuck yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone's like, you know what? I hope no one gets their health care. I think everyone's just, well, the problem is identity politics. Everyone just identifies with whatever they're told to believe in. That's the silly part. But, you know, I think at the end of the day, humans are generally good. So I think everyone kind of wants everyone to get the, you know, no one's looking at a sick 4-year-old and be like, hey, you know, I hope he doesn't get care, you know?
Right, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so that's what I think most people, I agree with you. I think most people would agree with it. They're just worried about how exactly do we do it, because a lot of us are concerned, of course, for taxes. A lot of us, whenever I bring up universal health care, people are concerned with, like, are we going to have like 60-70% tax? I'm like, we don't really have to. You know what I mean? We're already paying for it through the Medicaid and Medicare system. It's just not open to everyone. Once we open it to everyone, and if it could compete with private health insurance, then I guess that competition, you know what I mean, sort of will make it good. That's one of the things that I actually say that capitalism does have a small bit of
it's competition, the competition piece.
You
have to have it.
Yeah, if you have a little bit of competition, yeah, sure. Now, what I think we have right now is that monopolies, exactly. They want to lower the competition. You see what I'm saying? Which is why all of our TV media is owned by, like, what, 5 companies?
Well,
Disney
have
and Time Warner.
We have the false viewing of a competitive. No, nothing's competitive. It's the war. We think we're being competitive. It's like, nah, there's 3 people that own everything. You know what I mean? It's and that's the only problem is, like, trying to abolish, like, the healthcare system. Well, it's like, you know how much money these fucking people make, man. It's like, you know, it's cutting the head off that snake's gonna be a tall order. But
exactly, I think we should use antitrust on not only just the healthcare companies but technology as well. I've always said Google, Facebook, and Twitter are too big. Yeah, I mean, I've always said that.
How silly it is that, you know, these large, for example, just Pfizer, just to think of one, not to get, I don't want to get in the whole COVID shit, because that's not what we're talking about, but just like for example, these large pharma companies, right? They produce a vaccine or a pill or, you know, medication that's not even life-saving, right? They get indemnity. And it's like, well, they're going to sell this shit and make millions of dollars. If it hurts people, they don't go to jail. And it's silly to me. It's silly to me. These people are literally quite above the law.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And that's
that's a problem. I mean, that's why we're at, because you know, once they get away with it once, you're like, well, shit. and they just keep doing and doing, and they line the pockets of the people that we think that we're voting for. It's just silly, man. It's all silly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's exactly the problem that I've seen that well us on the left we've seen that as well, and I've always said to folks over on the right, y'all are seeing the same problems we are seeing. We're just disagreeing on how to get there and how to solve it. You know what I mean?
Dude, I've had so many conversations with people. I don't consider I consider myself very much a centrist. Like I can understand.
Yeah,
problem, like I said,
you sounded yeah.
Yeah, the problem is if you believe something that the right believes, you have to believe the rest of what the right believes, or else you're a traitor. And same goes both ways. It's like, hold on, how I can look at a lot of things in the left and agree with them, and look at a lot of things in the right and kind of agree with them as well. It's like I'm allowed to have. That's the problem. Everyone's just so stuck on this idea of exactly. It's that this well, if I believe in guns, but also believe that women should have abortions. People are like, are you fucking crazy? Like, nah. It's like, can't you just have I'm like, you're a person. You're allowed to believe two things, man. It's but anyways, no, dude. I just
things at once. Hey, but I appreciate you, right? But I do got to run out of here. But I definitely appreciate you coming up. Definitely a great conversation, man. And yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Enjoy your night.
All right, appreciate you, Ryan. All right, y'all. W Ryan in the chat, man. Very, very good discussion. These are the type of centrists that I want to talk to. Yeah, I mean, because there are too many centrists who cape for the right. Yeah, like I'm getting really, really tired of that, man. Like too many centrists cape for the right, yo. Like y'all gotta stop doing that. They'll call themselves centrists and be like, yo, y'all down the pipeline. You feel me? All right. So I'll take one last question. Do you think black conservatives are traitors to heritage? Just a bit. And the reason why I say that, well, I would actually say yeah. The reason why I say that, I don't have an issue with them being socially conservative. The problem that I have is that they support policies that absolutely do not advantage the black community. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about the entire black community. And not only that, they promote ideologies that are extremely, I would say, detrimental to our progress. You see what I'm saying? So if a black conservative is the type of person that, believes in a nuclear family, even believes in, they believe in a marriage is between one man and one woman, and they're even capitalists. They believe that free markets are probably the best best way to do the economy. That's fine, right? The issue that I have with them is that since they believe that marriage is between one man and one woman, they would automatically vote for government restrictions on LGBTQ individuals. Because they believe that free market is the way to go, they would vote for policies that, slash poverty alleviation for the black community, things like that. Those are the issues that I have. If they did not, vote for or support those things, or support or do the entire victim mentality and completely ignore racism, and white supremacy in our society, because a lot of them completely ignore it. If that wasn't the case, then I think most people will be fine with black conservatives. But because they want to cape for white supremacy, then it becomes a problem. When you have people saying that America was, never a racist country, and you have a black man calling himself a Yahtzee, then we have a problem. You know what I'm saying? When you have someone like Jesse Lee Peterson saying, thank God for slavery, then we have a problem. You know what I mean? When you have someone like Candace Owens like saying that dinosaurs is fake and gay, and the earth is probably flat, and questioning whether women should have the right to vote, then we have a problem. You see what I'm saying? These are the type of conservatives we have a problem with. Not just someone who is socially conservative. You know what I mean? Like just thinks that, capitalism is probably the best way to go. I mean, that's not an issue. Yeah, and saying Kamala isn't black, stuff like that. That's not really an issue. The issue is the policies that they support and the ideologies that they cape for. Not that, they think that, you know, I like nuclear families, and we should, you know, lower the abortion rate. Yeah, I mean, I don't even have a problem with that. They want to lower the. I would like to lower the abortion rate. That's fine. I'm not. I don't have any beef with that. It's the way to go about it and the ideologies that they perpetuate. Now, I had a friend up here of mine. His name was Moff. As y'all see, that's my boy. We was having a very good conversation. He's more of a social conservative. Moff ain't no, you know, trash panda. He's not. He will not cape for white supremacy at all. That man will not cape for white supremacy. But he would say that, you know, capitalism is our way. He will say that. But he will not put the cape off of white supremacy. He just won't. You see what I'm saying? So that's the type of thing that I'm talking about. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. A lot of black people are socially conservative. A lot of them. The issue that I'm having with the modern black conservative is them caping for white supremacy. That's the issue I got with them. Caping for white supremacy. You're about as disrespecting as it gets, but give you money. Richard, what the hell are you talking about, bro? This is what I'll be talking about, bro. Like, what do y'all be talking about, bro? Let me see if I even invite this fool up if he's even gonna come. No, of course he's not gonna come. See? Give me a second, y'all. Don't say good night yet. Let me see if this Richard guy's gonna come. Let me see if he's gonna come up. You see, he's not gonna come up. This is what I'll be saying. What the hell y'all fools be talking about, bro? What do y'all be talking about, bro? Oh my God! Like, what is that exactly, Issa? What is that sentence? What do y'all be talking about, bro? All right, Richard, don't yap in the comments. I'm gonna invite you again, and if you don't come up this time, I'm just gonna go ahead and mute you. Come on up. Come on up here, Richard. I'm going to do this one more time. Hey, Richard, I'm going to invite you up one more time. If you do not come up, I'm going to block you. Yep. Look at that. You see? That boy is super brave in the comments, but won't come up. Super yappity yap in the comments, but won't come up. And Richard is gone. Richard is gone, y'all. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate everybody coming through. Moth, thank you for coming through. Tahir, thank you for coming through. Jennifer, thank you for coming through over on my YouTube. I haven't been over on my Twitch yet. I'm not sure who's there, but if you're watching on my Twitch, I appreciate you. If you're watching over on my Instagram, I appreciate you watching over on there as well. Y'all are wonderful. Hey, thank you, Moth. Thank you for coming up. So y'all are wonderful. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Y'all are great. Remember to love each other, protect each other, and we are gonna be all right, y'all. The universe doesn't care about us, but we could care about each other, and we will be all right. No problem, Burns. I feel you. No problem. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, y'all. Love y'all. Peace. Live life. And have a great night.